welcome back to Wine Hour Books with your girl Kay. So I just want to check in, see how you guys are doing. Appreciate you guys still watching my videos. August was a lot, so I didn't get to drop any videos, but now it's September. I do have videos in my phone that I do need to drop and edit, so I know you guys are waiting, so thank you for your patience, guys. As you can see by the title, we are reviewing Housewoman. So a lot of the times I get on my channel and I review books that I like, but I also have to be transparent with you guys and review books that I do not like. And unfortunately, this is one. So this was a book club pick. And you know, the cover made me want to read it. I'm not gonna lie, like for some reason I like the cover. But this book, it just was not it. It was not it. I don't know what the point of this book was. Like there was no point to the book. There was literally no point to the book. From the beginning to the end, it's like, okay, I read this for what? So I gave this book, I think 1 star. Because you know you have to, if you rate it on Goodreads, yeah, 1 star. So anyways, let me get into the little background of the story. So I don't know how to pronounce the names. I tried my best to learn how to pronounce the names, so forgive me if I pronounce it wrong. I tried. All right, so we meet Ifuma, we're just gonna call her Ike, and we meet Nana. His name is spelled like N-N-A, right? So we meet them. Nana is a prominent lawyer in Philadelphia. He comes from a 2-parent household. They are Nigerian. Abigail is his mother, and I don't forgot how to pronounce the dad's name, but they came from Lagos and they moved to Texas. And, you know, they made a life for themselves. The mother has hair braiding shops, like she did well for herself, right? I'm just going to tell you right now, I hated them. I hated every character. Every single character in this book, I hated. There was not a likable character at all. It was just, the book was not good to me. If you read it, let me know, but I just don't think the book was good, right? So anyways, let me just speed up. So Ike comes from Nigeria, right? She was basically told that she's going to be Nana's husband. Wife. See, that's how much bad I hate the book. She's going to be Nana's wife. So basically her parents gave her away to Nana's parents. So she moved into, from Lagos to the States, into Nana's parents' home. And like in her head, her vision is that she's gonna come to the States, she's gonna marry him, she wants to be a dancer, she's gonna live the life that she always wanted to live, right? Because back in Nigeria, like, she was not treated well, she was beaten, she was verbally abused, physically abused, and it wasn't right? So her mother sent her to live with Nana's family. So Nana doesn't know that, you know, Ifuma was brought to the States to be his wife. So one day he comes back from Philly to Texas to visit his family, and he sees Ifuma in the kitchen cleaning. She was cooking and stuff, singing and all that, right? So he just stands up there watching her like a creep. So then she turns around, you know, she sees him, they start talking and flirting, and then she ends up telling him, like, you know, I'm your wife. So he's taken back, like, what? So this is the part of the book that was, like, really unnecessary. So in the beginning of the book, and they mentioned this multiple times throughout the book, so Nana has I want to say he has a disorder where his penis smells like cottage cheese, right? He's a lawyer, he makes money, he's handsome, he got his little flaws, but the biggest flaw of all is the author mentioned it multiple times with no purpose, that his penis smells like cottage cheese. It stinks, right? And he knows it stinks, and he still has sex with females and makes them perform fellatio when he knows it stinks. And I was so disgusted, because that's how the book really opened up with. And I'm like, okay, you know, she's mentioned it multiple times, the author, what's the point of it? Right? So throughout the book, there was really no point to mention that. So I'm like, you just wanted readers to be disgusted, because I did not need to know that. I really did not need to know that. And I was so mad throughout the book that he was really having sex with Ifuma, knowing that his penis stink, and he was like wanting stuff to be done, and he thought, I'm gonna say this right now, Nana thought that he was such a catch. Like, he thought he was like one of the finest men, like women bow down, submit to him, and I'm just like, not with that stink penis, not you thinking that you like that. Like, it really irked my nerves when I read it multiple times in the book. And then on top of that, like I said, it had no purpose for the author mentioning his stink penis. So I'm like, what was the point? Again, I told you the book had no point to it. None. So anyways, so long story short, Ifuma has been in the home with the parents a couple weeks before Nana came home, right? But during the time Ifuma's been there, the parents low-key kidnapped her, has been beating her, has been holding her hostage, has been grooming her to Nana, because they said that she has to have a baby for Nana within a couple months, or else they send her back to Lagos. So I'm like, why are they fiending for her to have a baby? Like, I'm thinking it's gonna be transition smooth, and it's not. And Nana is so far up his parents' ass that he can't see what's going on. So Ifuma is scared for her life, and Nana is just oblivious. Like, he just sees her and like, oh, you know, she looks good, wooty woo. And I'm just like this not gonna end well, right? So long story short, Ifuma also experiences these blackouts, and the blackouts are triggered when she's under a heightened state of stress, right? And the blackouts get physical. So again, I'm fast forwarding, right? So, you know, her and Nana starts to get to know each other, etc. She's learning about him, he's learning about her, and you know, he's feeling good about it. But then it's just like, she's just like, when is going to be the appropriate time for me to tell him about his parents? Because the mother is horrible. I should mention that the mother worships a god named Allah. Not, I'm about to tell you right now. Hold on. Y'all know I'll be having my notes, y'all. No, she worships a god named A-L-A. So Allah, right? And she's been worshiping this god since she was back in Nigeria, right? So basically, the god is the one. I don't want to call this person a god, because that's not. I'm gonna say Allah. Allah is the one that Abigail says is making the decisions for the family and making the decisions for Nana, making the decisions for Ifuma. So I'm just like, what type of demonic am I reading? That's just how I felt. Like, I'm like, what? So it got to a point where, I'm gonna just spill it because I don't want this video to be too long because I didn't like the book. So it got to a point where Ifuma felt like, you know, she wants a life outside of the house. She's trapped in the house. Nana is not realizing that she's trapped in the house. Nana thinks that she doesn't want to leave the house because she's scared of America, and what the parents are saying. So Ifuma one time decides that she's gonna just tell Nana that, yo, this is what your parents have been doing to me. They forced me to have a baby. They kidnapped me. They won't allow me to leave. And I want to go. So she ends up telling him. He's just like, why are you talking about my parents like that? My parents brought you here. You ungrateful, whoop-de-woo, like all that stuff. And I'm just like, sis is crying to you like she's been real. Like, you don't think that she wants to leave the house if she keeps looking out the window? I'm just mad confused. So then it got to a point where like they will still have sex, and she's trying to, I don't want to say manipulate him, but she's trying to manipulate him to get him onto her side to see like her parents' true motives, right? On top of that, her own parents is back in Nigeria, and it got to a point where, you know, she hasn't spoken to her parents. Her father doesn't really mess with her. The mother, she just couldn't believe like the mother would really put her in a situation like that, right? So she also carries with her a picture of her mother. So one time, you know, she looked at the picture and was like, yo, like Nana looks like my mother. So she decides that she's going to put the picture, because men do go through women things, in a place where she knows Nana was going to look through her things, right? Because he actually was looking for a phone. He's like, you know, I can't find her phone or whatever. But let me see if I can find any dirt. So he looks through her Bible and finds a picture of Ifuma's mother, and he realized like, yo, I look like Ike Fuma's mother. He's trying to figure out why he looks like the mother. On top of that, his parents had teared up her, like, with their mouth, tore up her passport and took her cell phone when she got to the States. So she couldn't even leave if she wanted to because she has no documents, she has no cell phone, she has no nothing. They really kidnapped her, right? So he's looking at the picture and figuring like, why do I look like this lady? Like something's going on. So from jump, I already knew like there was secrets being had, and I'm like, damn, like that's her brother, like that's his sister. So he's questioning his parents, like he realizes his parents is hiding something, but he brings it to her attention. He's like, Ike Fuma, like, why do you have a picture of this lady that looks like me? So she's like, you know, I'm trying to figure that out too, but we could be siblings. But he's like, he hears what she's saying, but he's basically trying to get his penis satisfied, and he still decides that he want to have sex with Ike Fuma, knowing that there's a possibility that they could be siblings. And I'm like, that's one of the dirtiest things. I'm sorry, like, it's dirty. Like, once I find out that there's a possibility that you could be my sister or my brother, we are not having sex. Like, I'm repulsed by the thought that I just had sex with a sibling, not him. He's just like, it's not true, or it hasn't been proven yet, so come do what you got to do, right? And also, again, he's feeling like he can make a life for her, like he's starting to fall for her and all this extra stuff. And I'm just like, and then on top of that, like, he has a temper problem, a bad temper problem, so he will put his hands on her. He will, like, he's really aggressive, and I'm trying to figure out why he think that it's okay for him to be aggressive when he don't even look good. And again, he has stink penis syndrome, so I'm just confused. So, like, she's scared of him. She's scared of the parents. She realizes as she's trying to talk to him, to get some sense to him, like, he's just like the parents. He will not be able to help her, right? So then, along the lines, you know, he decides that, you know, it's in the back of his head that he's going to do some more research, look around the house, whatever. So I should mention that his mother also locks every door in the house. So unless he has the keys, he cannot get out the house, neither can Ike Fuma, because that's why I was like, why she just didn't walk out the door? But every door in the house is locked, so there's no way for her to escape. The windows are bolted, all of that. It got to a point where the mother had hit her, Ike Fuma, with a shoe, because Fuma was, again, she experienced a blackout and attacked the mother. But that's since the mother was coming at her, she hit Ike Fuma with a shoe. And Nana got mad, like, oh, you need to be careful, you falling down the stairs and whoop-de-woo, and you hurting yourself, like, and she was just like confused. But Ike Fuma wouldn't tell Nana everything that the parents would do to her. And I understand why, because he wouldn't have believed it anyway. He thinks his parents is the best parents in the world. Anyways, he goes snooping in the shed. He finds a letter with a picture of the same lady, a dude, and him as a baby, talking about, we love you, son. So he's like, why they keep calling me son? Why they keep calling me son? Why they keep calling me son? So again, I'm going to fast forward. So it got to the point where, you know, Ike Fuma ends up getting pregnant. She's so pissed that she's pregnant. Because she's not happy that she's pregnant, Nana gets mad at her and beats her, like punches her, whoops her on the bed. And I'm like, what? So he did that because he felt like she's ungrateful, that she's not happy to be pregnant by him after all him and his parents did for her. And that really just aggravated me so bad. One, I don't condone domestic violence. I don't condone violence against men. I don't condone violence against women. But in him, like, this book was just, it was not it, right? So anyways, they decide that they're going to call Ike Fuma's parents to tell Ike Fuma Ike Fuma's parents the good news. So they call Ike Fuma's parents. Nana is on the phone. Nana, when they get on the phone, Ike Fuma's parents talks to Nana. So they talk to Nana like, hi, my son. How are you doing, my son? This, that, and the third. So he's like, why you keep calling me my son? Before they can answer, Abigail, Nana's mother, throws the phone on the ground. So Nana's like, why would you do that? So he's just all confused. So eventually he tells Ike Fuma, like, listen, I got you passport documents. We're going to take a trip to Lagos so I can get some answers. So she's really happy to go back to Lagos, right? So she used to keep a knife by her bed. So on the day that they're supposed to go to Lagos or whatever, they drive in, whoop-de-woo, she realized, like, you know, he's not really taking her to Lagos. I think the only part I can say, I really think he had intentions on taking her back home, but in her head is like, you know, she confirmed that through her mother, because at one time she had snuck it before they left for the trip, she snuck his phone. She called her mother, and the mother was surprised that she was still alive, because Abigail had told the mother, like, listen, Ifuma is pregnant. Once she has this baby, we're gonna kill her. That's what the Allah want, right? So the mother was like, why you gotta kill Ifuma? Just let her go. So when Ifuma called her mother, the mother was like, you still alive? And then that's when Ifuma realized, like, they plan to kill her. So then as they dip out the house, again, his parents doesn't know that they run out the house, they sneak out the house. As on the drive, they stop at a gas station, and she's just starts going crazy. She realizes she pulls out the knife. He's like, yo, put the knife away. You can't bring that in the airport. She's just like, no, you're gonna kill me. So they start fighting. She runs into the gas station. There's a white dude there. The white dude thinking that, you know, she's gonna rob the place. Nana comes in, basically telling the gas station, like, my wife is crazy. No, my sister is crazy. All this BS. So they end up fighting. They get into a car accident. She survives. Nana dies, right? So this is what happened. Everything comes to light after. So long story short, right? Ikefuma's mother is not really her mother, right? There was a situation where Ikefuma's dad raped their maid, right? Let me put it another way. Hold on, guys, so it makes sense. Let me give you a timeline. All in all, Abigail and Allah, right? Abigail worships Allah. Allah basically states that, you know, directed Abigail to do all this thing, right? So long story short, Ikefuma's mother, what is Aja? Aja is her name, right? Aja is married to a man, his name first starts name with D, right? So they were neighbors back in Lagos. So because Abigail worshipped Allah, Aja was going through a time where she could not get pregnant. So, and she wanted to have a baby for her husband, but her husband was very abusive, etc., etc. So one day, you know, she ends up, you know, getting pregnant, and at the same time, she gets pregnant with Nana, right? So basically, Abigail told Aja, like, listen, Allah helped you get pregnant. Allah's directions that the baby comes with me to the States. We raise the baby, and then we'll give him back when the time is right, because Abigail could not get pregnant. So because Aja was so blinded, and she realized she thought that Allah really granted her, she blindly followed the instructions Abigail gave her and gave Nana to Abigail to raise, right? At the same time, Aja's husband was raping the maid. The maid ends up getting pregnant. So when the maid gets pregnant, she's 13 at the time, and like, she don't want the baby. So the maid ends up taking the baby down to like where Lagoon is and leaving the baby. The same day though, I just walking by the Lagoon and sees the baby. The baby is Ikefuma's. So Abigail tells Aja that, you know, you're gonna find a female to raise up for Nana. You're gonna raise the female for Nana. Nana's gonna get her pregnant, and then, you know, the girl has to go. So I'm like, what? What type of, like, again, demonic stuff is this? So when Aja finds Ifuma a little baby by the Lagoon, she brings the baby home and decides to raise the baby, because again, she's following what Allah is saying, right? So she brings the baby back into the home. Again, obviously that's the maid's baby. There's no way that they didn't know that was the maid's baby. Like, the maid just had a baby. She leaves the house with the baby, doesn't return with the baby. Aja comes back with the baby, right? So when Aja comes back with the baby, of course the maid sees like Aja has the baby, and she doesn't say, nobody says anything, they just raise the baby, right? So technically, Aja's husband is Ikefuma's real dad, but again, Aja didn't have Ikefuma, the maid did. So the maid is Ikefuma's mom. So as Ikefuma grows up in the house, the maid is still there. You know, she doesn't say anything. She looks over Ikefuma just to make sure like everything is okay with her. But you know, she doesn't tell Ikefuma like I'm your mom, right? So then, basically, Allah basically said that, you know, Ikefuma was already designed for Nana. So it got to the point where I'm like, you know, they really are siblings, because Ikefuma's dad is her dad, but the mom is not her mom. But Ikefuma's mom and dad is Nana's mom and dad. So I'm like, they really siblings, and they did all this BS for some God to worship called Allah, and it's Allah's design plan. And in the end, you know, Ikefuma is in the police station. The parents are trying to basically saying that, you know, she was crazy. They brought her here to America for a better life, and she killed her son. She killed their son. And it just ends with the cops not really believing Ikefuma. She's sitting in the police station. And I'm like, okay, we get the backstory. It really doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, blindly following behind some God, and this is all set in motion, and the maid is really her mother, the father's really the father. Like, I'm like, okay, so what was the point? Because the way the book ends, it seems as if there's going to be a part 2, because nothing was really solved. Like, yeah, we got the backstory of how everything came to be, which is stupid, but there was no point to the book. Like, none. They think she's crazy. Nana is dead. The parents is crazy, but the parents are gonna get away with what they did. And again, no point to the book. So I don't like the book. I really just don't. I just think the book was a waste of my time. Again, I only read it because of book club. If you read this book, drop in the comments, let me know. None of the people at book club enjoyed this book. I will say the book was interesting to read, as far as like it kept you engaged because you wanted to know what was going to happen next. That's the only thing I could say as why I was able to finish the book. I'm like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? But all the what's going to happen leads up to nothing in the end. So it's like you get the readers hyped up. We want to know more. We continue to read to know more because it's intriguing. I'm not going to lie. But then we get to the end, it's just like a slap in our face because it's like you didn't know what to write next. I'm just mad confused. So that's why I will say that it keeps you engaged because you want to know what's going to happen to Ikefuma at the end. But like, there was a point in the book where she had time to escape, and when they went to a restaurant and the parents had took her to a restaurant, she paused, like she's walking towards, they sit in the restaurant, she's walking towards the restaurant door, she takes a dramatic ass pause, the parents is looking at her like, tell her come back. The parents end up getting the customers in the restaurant to turn against Ikefuma and grab her up, basically saying that, you know, she's a troubled child. I'm like, you had time to escape. I don't give a damn if I got no passport. I'm finna go to the embassy. But why would you pause? And then she stood there paused. I was just confused as to, girl, run. So I don't know. Like, this book made no damn sense. I'm like, you know, here go people worshiping stuff that they're not supposed to be worshiping, following blindly. And it's just like, nobody helped her. She didn't help herself. The son, with his stink penis, had a lot of nerve. The parents were crazy. The parents back in Nigeria was crazy. They didn't even care about Ikefuma. They used her and abused her. And it's just, again, I'm going to keep saying it, a waste of my time. Anyways, the next book review is going to be the book recommendation. I just have to read. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have not been reading like I'm supposed to for the month of August. Like, I've been trying to enjoy my summer, but now that we're back in September, you know, buckling down work, school, so I'm be able to read more and really I'm not gonna lie, like, take YouTube serious for you guys. But I thank you for the support that you have given me thus far, and I really, really appreciate you guys. And until next time, your girl is out.